Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss the basic concept of time value of money, and further we are also going to discuss its importance and various methods under it. Now let us first understand the basic concept of time value of money. See, we all know that the money in hand today is worth more than the money that we are going to receive tomorrow, and it is simply because we can earn interest if we invest it somewhere, let's say in the form of FD or RD. So, in order to gain a value for your money, you have to invest it somewhere. Now, the money has time value because of the inflation rate, okay, and uncertainty factor also. We all know that inflation, that is the prices of things or products or services keep on rising with time, and because of this the value of money reduces. And also there is uncertainty factor, that is any kind of disaster which can come in the future, any kind of recession that can come into the economy. So we all know that as time passes, things keep becoming costlier, and in order to compensate for this, we are paid DA by the government. If we are government employees, then dearness allowance is paid by the government, and interests by bank for the money saved. And also there is risk of future uncertainties like recession, as I said, bankruptcy and disaster. Okay, now let us understand the importance of time value of money. The first one is inflation. Yes, because of inflationary conditions, the rupee today has a higher purchasing power than the rupee in future. So as a result, those who have to receive the money prefer to receive as soon as possible, while those who have to pay the money try to delay the payment. Okay, so inflation factor is very important, okay, concept in time value of money, because it is due to inflation that the value of money decreases in future. Okay, now uncertainty. Since the future is characterized by uncertainty, individuals or businesses concerned prefer to have current income rather than having the same payment at a later date. Okay, they have an apprehension that the party making the payment may default due to insolvency or any other reasons. So let's say I am a producer of certain goods and I want certain raw materials from my suppliers and expect that I can pay that amount at a future date. But my suppliers most of the time are not willing for this because they know that the money has time value, and in future there can be a basically delay in payment due to insolvency of the company, okay, due to bankruptcy of the company. So they prefer the current payment over future payments. This is uncertainty. Okay, preference for current consumption. Both due to uncertainty and inflationary pressures, individuals prefer current consumption over future. They do not wish to save for the future by curtailing future consumption. Okay, so they want to prefer current consumption over future consumption due to these two factors. Now, opportunities for investment or reinvestment, basically money can be employed to generate real returns. Okay, individuals, business concerns reinvest their money at a certain rate so as to have some return or in interest or yield on it. Okay, so that is also a very important factor of time value of money. Now, if we keep certain money in the form of fixed deposit, okay, the bank pays us a nominal rate of interest, which includes the normal or real rate, okay, like let's say 5%, and also the expected rate of inflation. Okay, they let's say expect 2% inflation in the economy in future, that is the next year, plus the rate which can arise due to an contingent situation due to a contingent situation. So here the nominal rate, okay, that is the rate that they will be giving to us, is equal to real rate of interest, okay, that is, let's say 5% plus expected rate of inflation, that is what would be the inflation in the future, 2%, and also risk premium. There is uncertainty as to the bank, although it does not happen but can become bankrupt, okay, there is a uncertainty factor also, so this percent is also added into it. So combining all these three, we get the nominal rate of return, which is basically the rate of interest which is offered by banks or any other non-financial institution, NBFCs, by to us, right? Now, what are the methods of time value of money or calculating time value of money? The first is compounding. This method is used to determine the future value of present investment. Okay, for example, a person invests in an FD of rupees 50,000 for 1 year, and it is expected that inflation would be around 5%. Okay, and there he gets 52,500 at the end of each year, right? So 2,500 is basically the inflation component or the rate of interest which we are getting. Okay, so compounding is a method that is used to determine the future value of the present investment. Okay, we have invested 50,000 in present, okay, and we want to know the future value, that is the value after 1 year, which is 52,500. Now discounting technique can also be used. See, this method is used to determine the present value of future cash flows in discounting technique. So here we want to, it is actually the opposite of compounding. Here we want to know the present value of the future cash flows. This technique is widely used in making capital investments in an organization. We have all heard about the capital budgeting technique. This is all that, okay. For example, a person does an investment of 1 lakh, okay, and wants to know what is the present value of cash flows, okay. That person, let's say, gets certain cash flows every year, 20,000 in first year, 30,000 in second year, and so on. So he wants to know the present value of all those cash inflows, okay, and thereby wants to discount the same. So here he will be basically comparing it with, after calculating the present value, okay, of the future cash flows through discounting technique, he will be basically subtracting it from the net cash outflow, which is 1 lakh in this case. Then the person will be, or the organization will be, getting the net present value of the future cash inflows. Okay, so this is basically capital budgeting technique which we have read in finance in detail. Okay, now concept of annuity. Sometimes it so happens that a person pays in a series, especially in case of life insurance. Okay, so types of annuity. So what could be the basically types of annuity? The first one is ordinary annuity, when the cash flow is at the end of the period. Okay, whenever, remember, we are paying at the end, that is in the month of March or December in case of accounting year. Okay, then there is financial year wherein we are paying in March. So this is basically ordinary annuity. For example, when one person pays insurance installments at the end of an accounting year or financial year, as I said. Now annuity due, here the cash flow is basically paid at the beginning of the year, that is in Jan in case of accounting year, and in case of financial year in the month of March, right? So these are basically the types of annuity through which the time value of money can also be measured, right? Now let's practice certain important questions. Under which method of annuity the cash flow is at the end of the period? So always remember, in case of ordinary annuity, it is always at the end of year. So the answer is option B, that is ordinary annuity. So the next question is, which factor reduces the value of money with time? So the answer would be inflation for this, because it is due to inflation that the money loses its value, and there can be many reasons like demand pull inflation, okay, cost pull inflation, wherein in case of demand pull inflation, the demand of the things rises and thereby the supply reduces, and in case of cost pull inflation, the cost increases due to many factors like crude oil prices surge, okay, and because of this everything increases. So the correct answer would be option B for this. So this was all for today. Thank you so much for your time.